real big on holding women accountable because I can't really tell a man how to be a man. But I know if a woman carries herself a certain type of way, if that would affect that man or themselves or their situation negatively or positively. Like y'all said, you wouldn't like Hank said, I wouldn't recommend women to just turn off their emotions. Because I agree, after a certain period of time, if that man helping you out, being your best friend, he help you pay your bills here and there, but y'all just fucking and your emotions off, after a year or two, you depending on him low key to help you with your life. And then when it's time to be like, okay, I want you, it ain't tricking if you got it. He got three other women he doing that for, and now you feel special because he's treating you like how a husband should if dicking you down. But then now your feelings attaching. I just feel like women, we are built differently than men, and I see my friends go through it. I see um just social media. You can see how the women who think like that, even Ari said it. She was like, when I got with money bag, yo, I had to think different. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to change certain things about myself, and I had to stop saying, fuck, all this other stuff. But that's it.
Okay, but just to touch on something that you said, I personally think that women uh, do help in healing men, and the only way that is, I believe that the relationship is truly going to work, especially once you get to marriage, is if the woman understands that and creates a space for the man to be vulnerable enough for the communication, the spice, everything that comes with a healthy relationship. I think that is imperative. In my own personal experience, I have open parts of myself that I wasn't aware of with the aid and assistance of my wife. So I believe that is important, but that can only happen when the woman is open to help in that man healing. I think that is a duty for both parties to do it. But due to the fact that men are raised one way, women are raised another way, once we are together as one, it's necessary for both parties to do their due diligence. And as men mostly being hard and women mostly being soft, there's that part where it comes where we have to understand the balance of the two in order to unite. So
Yeah,
I think that's important.
and with it being a lot of single mothers, that's a lot of single women, they're so busy providing, they're not really focusing on healing, you know? So a
That
lot of us don't know, and it's no excuses, it's no excuse. But once we heal and we heal ourselves, that's when we realize our true power. And that's when we can come in and heal and do what we're supposed to do.
I want to chime in and actually like piggyback on what both of you guys said. Viz, I think what you just said was like so beautifully put because, and simply put, because there is a difference. One's hard body, one is soft, but just like the yin and the yang symbol, there is a little bit of each, in the other. And so I'm saying that to say you're right. It has to be two willing parties to come to the table and do their job. I think sometimes where we clash on things and talking about men and women is the fact that nobody wants to budge sometimes on especially just conversations like this, right? Like I'm not talking about just intimacy, like when with you with your man and I'm with you with your woman, but like on a bigger scale, everybody wants to like stand their ground and be heard and stuff. But at the end of the day, it is about coming together and being able to like for a man to be vulnerable. So for me, I feel like with a man, because y'all will say, oh, I'm just not in the right environment, da da da. We don't have to go back in the past, but I'm talking about right now, what's necessary. Yes, a woman can be as soft as she wants to be, but there are a lot of wolf in sheep clothing, and so now I got to use my spidey senses to snuff that out to make sure he's even worthy of me coming to the table to do my part. Because what if he is just here for a 20-minute quick fix? You know what I'm saying? What if he is just here for A, B, and C? So I have to be the one that guards that, the best way I can. But I want to piggyback off that what she said. Sometimes, because I'm not gonna hold you, I don't have children, but I had to do a lot of work to transmute and get to a space where I could heal in certain ways that I wouldn't have been able to do with a household full of children or this and that. So it's no excuse. I do agree that, the healing has to happen regardless. You got to do the work. But I think grace can be extended to some, different situations. But if we're talking healthy connections, I think what you said, Viz, was like really on point. And it takes two parties to be able to open their hearts and their ears to what the other party needs truly.
Yeah, for sure. At the end of the day, I personally believe, especially with divorces, is just as you said, is one or two parties standing so firm in their ego that they're not willing to go any further, or the damage has been done to where it's like, okay, I just can't take, I can't bear it anymore. So, but I believe that, and I've never been divorced. I've been in breakups, but I believe that that's what happens when people say that we grew apart. I think that it's the evolution of the two, and we just can't communicate. We can't get on the same ground, on the same level of understanding, and understanding what it is that I need now, much rather than what I needed 5 years ago or something.
Absolutely. Can I ask you a question though? Because I didn't know you were married, so that's great to know. Um, so with when you said that your wife, there were some things that you didn't even realize or that she helped you work through or something. Would you say in that regard though, because you have let her in, that she would serve also as a mirror for you? Do you believe relationships can be mirrors for other people?
Yeah, I absolutely believe that that your spouse is a reflection of you. Your children are a reflection of you. Of the people that the top five people that you spend the most time with, they are reflections of you. So absolutely, I do believe that.
I was asking that because you know what, that was, and I'm glad you answered that way because that's a perspective that I didn't consider. Well, I considered it. Let me not say that, but when I was asking that question, I was saying that to say in terms of, you know how sometimes men go, oh, like women just be tripping, they be crazy, they be doing this and that. I think
Allah.
a lot of times when men lay with women, they don't also consider, especially if she's somebody who is in tune with her emotions and herself, they don't often realize that I'm going to mirror you or show you things about yourself. And it may not come out in a way that is always pleasant, right? It might be some ways that you're the man and leader. And I think at another conversation, we can touch on what women want. Because back then, maybe we wanted leaders, but right now, we need partnership. We need interdependent, right? Because everybody came here as a whole being of of their own selves, and we should be able to be interdependent, not necessarily codependent. But anyways, I'm saying that to say sometimes when women act out, yes, they might have their own set of traumas that are attached to that. But sometimes I think, you know, women being a multiplier and a mirror, if you give me happiness, peace, wholesomeness, you know, whatever you giving me a roof over my, whatever it is, I'm gonna turn that into a home or a meal or a baby or whatever it is that man gives me, I'm gonna multiply those good things. Let's not negate the fact that that can happen in negative ways too. You know, sometimes men bring trauma to the womb. Sometimes men bring things to a woman's sacral area that now she don't even know herself. So when those things are happening, it comes up in a negative way. And I think sometimes we don't consider the negative ways that you know, we can multiply. You know, I mean, the negative things that men bring that we can also multiply. I just wanted to say that.